So you've got this conventional model Mack truck with 2010 emissions to drive. What do you need to do to get this truck from point A to point B without having a problem on the road? Here's the basics. As compared to many other trucks, the main differences you'll notice are the DEF tank and the SCR catalyst. If you haven't been in a truck with any exhaust after treatment before, you may also be unfamiliar with the DPF, or diesel particulate filter. The DPF filters out the fine particulates in diesel exhaust. The particulates collected need to be burned off in a process called regeneration, or regen. This keeps the filter clean enough to continue filtering properly. In 07 emission trucks, the driver had to initiate a regen when the truck indicated the filter was full. For these 2010 conventional models, that activity is likely to be a thing of the past, so we're not going into any details here. If you want to know more about it, refer to the operator's manual and the visor label. SCR stands for Selective Catalytic Reduction. The SCR catalyst is added to the exhaust system to reduce the NOx emissions from the vehicle. NOx are various combinations of nitrogen and oxygen in the exhaust. You don't have to worry much about the SCR catalyst as long as you don't clog it up by doing the wrong thing with the DEF. We'll cover the mistakes to avoid a bit later. For now, just remember that this catalyst will get hot in operation and will stay hot for quite a while after the engine stops. So avoid touching or standing on it. With its blue cap, the DEF tank is easy to spot. DEF stands for Diesel Exhaust Fluid and is sometimes called DEF. DEF is needed to work with the SCR catalyst to reduce NOx. It's sprayed into the exhaust stream through an injector after the DPF and before the SCR catalyst. DEF is a refined chemical product that contains about 68% purified water and 32% urea. Urea is an organic compound and is used in many ways in industry and agriculture. DEF does not contain any diesel fuel and is not a diesel fuel additive. It's got its own tank and is the only stuff that should go into that tank. If there is one important thing to remember about these trucks, it's don't mess with the DEF. There's a gauge in the truck to show the DEF level. If you don't want to experience any engine derates or vehicle speed limitations, you can't let this tank get low. You certainly don't want it empty. If you see indications like this on the truck, you're going to have problems. This indicator is the symbol for DEF. If it's lit steadily, then begins flashing, your truck is going into derate. More importantly, if you fill with diesel and forget to fill a critically low DEF tank, your truck is only going to go 5 miles per hour. Yes, that is 5 miles per hour until you put some DEF in that tank. The visor label in the cab will tell you what all of the DEF indicators mean. Bottom line, pay attention to the gauge while driving and fill the tank when needed. This will usually be needed about every other fuel tank fill. If you're just starting out, check the gauge and the dash to see if the DEF indicator is lit. If low or the indicator is on or both, fill the DEF tank. If the indicator goes out, drive the truck. If it stays on, the truck has to be serviced. When you do fill, use only certified DEF from an approved dispenser or a sealed container. Don't even think about putting anything else in the tank. No straight water, no diesel, oil, gas, or any type of petroleum product. No homemade, farm-made, or chemistry teacher-made mixes. No recycled human or animal liquid wastes, and no cleaners, solvents, or soaps. In addition, don't use containers, funnels, pumps, or dispensers that were previously used to handle any other liquids, oils, fuels, coolants, cleaners, or solvents to store or dispense DEF. Keep the DEF handling items specific to DEF and DEF only. Using anything other than pure, certified DEF from an approved manufacturer means that you will shorten the life of the SCR catalyst, or clog or poison it so that it doesn't work. And petroleum products, cleaners, and solvents will damage the DEF pump and lines. In addition, when filling, you have to keep everything clean, clean, clean. Wipe off the cap area if needed, and make sure the container or nozzle is clean. No dirt, paper, or cloth fibers or foreign particles of any kind should be allowed in the tank. Don't introduce anything into the DEF tank that is not DEF. How can you be sure you're getting the right stuff? Look for this symbol on the label or on the dispenser. To be on the safe side, it's not a bad idea to carry an extra container in the truck with you. Note the size of the DEF fill hole. It won't accept the dispenser nozzle for diesel or gas. It's too small. DEF isn't harmful or even considered a hazardous material. Treat it as you would treat working with household ammonia. Avoid skin or eye contact. Don't drink the stuff. Don't breathe the fumes directly or in an enclosed area. If some does get on you, flush the area with large quantities of water and wash with soap and water. Be aware of the various locations where DEF is flowing on the vehicle. All hoses and connection points should be inspected for leakage during a pre-trip inspection. When it dries, DEF leaves a white, powdery residue, so it's not just liquid coming out that you should look for. Here are the areas to check. At the connections to the SCR pump assembly, at the DEF injector in the exhaust, and at the exhaust clamps between the DPF and the SCR catalyst. Because DEF can freeze at about 12 degrees Fahrenheit or colder, the hoses to the injector are electrically heated. The tank and the injector are also heated, or in the injector's case, cooled by engine coolant. With this in mind, look for coolant leaks as well. Also, the system operates to pull the DEF out of the lines when the truck shuts down. If you hear a pump running after you turn off the key, that's normal. Other than your attention to the DEF level, you won't find operating an EPA 10 truck to be different than operating other trucks. In fact, it'll be easier than running an 07 emissions vehicle because you are not likely to be bothered by any DPF regeneration requests or indications. One indication you may see from time to time is the high exhaust system temperature, or HEST lamp. This is part of normal operation. It's usually a result of the control system developing some extra heat in the exhaust to warm up the SCR catalyst or regenerate the filter in the DPF. To review, remember, don't mess with the DEF. Pay attention to the DEF gauge and indicator lights. Fill with DEF when needed. Keep all DEF-related containers, caps, and dispensers clean. Know where to check for leaks during the pre-trip, and realize that the HEST lamp may come on from time to time as part of the normal operation of the vehicle. Do these things, and when someone asks if you like driving a 2010 Mack, you'll be saying, most definitely.